7 pool versus Nexus first. Sour about that. Of all the things, man, that's just like, wake up in the morning, I walk outside, and then like there's just like some guy just hits me with a baseball bat. It's pretty much what just happened there. But can our Protest player recover from being hit in the face with that baseball bat? Spawning in the bottom left position as our Purple Zerg player went for the 7 pool last game. None other than Acer's Scarlett, showing those cheeky builds. One of those reasons why she's so popular. Great player, can cheese, can dance in a variety of ways. Let me flip this scoreboard. Boom. Now, spawning in the top right position as our green Protoss player. Maybe not going to go so greedy this game, but we're going to have to see what he wants to do. He's building another pylon in his main. He is XMG's Monchi. This has been a pretty interesting series. We had the failed Nidus Hydralisk push the first game from Scarlett. Game number 2, we had the big crazy Immortal push, and then game 3 was just boom, the blink of an eye over with that sick 6-7 pool. I wonder what Monchi's gonna do this game, because if I were him, I'd be like, oh man, I took game number 1 so well. Oh my goodness, I just lost the last 2. I lost to Koss. So because Monchi lost to Koss, if he loses to Scarlett as well, I believe he will be out for the playoff round. So he will go out in the bottom of the group. So he needs to win this. He doesn't want to go down to 0-2, because if he loses to Scarlett, both Scarlett and Koss will have 1 victory under their belt. So I'm pretty sure that's how this works for our group stages here at the Russian Starleague. Of course, brought to you by these awesome folks, SC2TVRU. You guys can see the little overlay thingy in the bottom right of the screen, and during our break time, putting on some great content, getting these players here. But we're going to have another Nexus first from Monchi. This isn't unusual, but he just needs to be a little more worried. I'm still surprised he didn't probe scout. It's really, really risky. Scarlett, though, not really the kind of player to go for this kind of cheese twice in a row. No matter who wins this match, the next one will be a best of 5 between Acer Scarlett and Empire Koss, which I'm personally looking forward to. I think it'll be our best match of the day, or at least the most anticipated one. So a couple Zerglings being made for Scarlett to scout. Forge on the way, and that gateway for Monchi. He's building the Forge inside of his main base. This reminds me a lot of the style of players like Liquid Hero, known for throwing his Forge in his main base in case of any kind of really big ling aggression. You know, he doesn't have to forfeit the Forge defensively no matter what comes at him. So we're going to have to see what our players want to do, both being pretty greedy again. Scarlett playing normal for Zerg, though. I have to say, man, you get 7 pooled and go Nexus first the next game. Monchi is definitely not scared. I think he was just more caught off guard than anything. Maybe he hasn't played against Scarlett too much. Of course, I believe Monchi is our European player. I feel like the way that the groups were designed, there was at least one player from a certain organization, but I can't place my tongue on it right now. The Zerglings are actually going to get into Monchi's base. This is just a bit of a hassle. 2 Zerglings can't do too much, but he is pulling... There's 5 probes to deal with this, so Scarlett, nice little effectiveness here, and this can be annoying. If she gets a probe, then it's just kind of hilariously cost-effective, because the Zerglings, of course, typically don't do anything but sit at towers, but the fact that she has dragged 4 probes with her on this little march around the base is awesome. And in the meantime, she's going to get her 3rd base up and continue to drone pretty heavily. Says, okay, it was a Nexus first. Well, I'm not really worried about you attacking me anytime soon. I can get up the units I want. The Cybernetics core is just finishing now at the 514 mark. So she's feeling pretty safe. This Zealot's going to run around, and it should be able to help deal with these Zerglings, but as long as Monchi keeps pulling probes, this delays Protoss timings. You cut that economy. So I like it. Nice, cute little play by Scarlett, taking advantage of that somewhat later Photon Cannon. The gateway was put down before the cannon, so... typically, you can't do any damage with just 2 Zerglings, but it has been pretty hilarious to see that little charade. The Zerglings are dead, though. And Monchi, oh my goodness, it looks like he may be going for a super fast 3rd base here, which would be really interesting. It's not a super common build, not on this map especially. You have this wide attack angle here, this wide attack angle here, and you can also go up through here to attack. It's a little bit less common, of course, since the wall can see units, but that wall does not a 3rd protect. drones all day for Scarlett. She's getting up that gas now. It's pretty standard timing. She got the gas in 6 minutes. This is your typical ZVP build. Most likely going to go into that really, really standard Roach Warren Lair Evolution Chamber, like we saw in the previous game. She was gearing up to go for not the previous game. That one lasted 2 minutes. The one before that on Whirlwind. So there's the Lair. It's not super early, so I feel like we'll still see that Roach Warren. There we go. An Evolution Chamber follow up. So this is that super standard kosher Zerg versus Protoss build, and I feel like this is what Monchi's kind of playing into. If he can get up enough of a return on this economic investment that he's made so early on, he could propel himself into a pretty nice position to go for maybe some double robotics facility play or really heavy gateway robo facility timing, and he's just kind of taking advantage of Scarlett's playing standard. And now Scarlett sees this third base, so I wonder if she's going to react differently. We see a bunch more drones being made. +1 armor is being started instead of attack. So this is interesting because attack upgrades scale better for armor on roaches. But against zealots, the armor upgrades technically scale evenly because zealots attack twice, allowing that +1 armor to kind of act as 2. So we'll have to see what she does with this lair, though. It's going to go straight Infestation Pit, Roach Speed, and Macro Hatch. And this is pretty normal, but we have the Twilight Council being produced by Monchi. He has +1 attack going, so we could see a really fast +2 attack. I don't think it would finish in time, or it would finish too early for this third base to really pay for itself in a way that would allow Monchi to put on a lot of damage, because right now he's producing 3 probes at a time. That's a really, really expensive thing to do. He's spending hundreds of minerals a minute getting this base saturated, so he's not going to be able to get the most effectiveness out of it for at least another couple of minutes. He's gearing up to go for some pressure with this Warp Prism, but I think he's just kind of hoping that by the time his push gets there, it'll have paid off, and it most certainly will have. He's getting a nice little supply depot, pylon wall. I don't know, I'm just like, man, this looks awkward for pylons. There's no cannons. This one Speedling will be able to go and check this out. Says, hey, you don't really have anything defending here. Overseer moves into the natural. She's gonna spot the tech of Monchi. She sees, okay, robotics facility. You have a Forge being chrono boosted. The +2 attack hasn't been started yet. However, here comes the big push from Monchi. He's moving across center of the field. These Zerglings are going to see that. Force fields actually block it, so Monchi gets all these lings. A very nice touch. I like this a lot. And here we go. Warp Prism is going to be started by this 4th base. This is looking it's a pretty strong push. It's not a super big commitment, but it also means if there's an overreaction by Scarlett, that she's going to lose this 4th base. But with Infestors coming out now, 1 fungal growth completely obliterates this. I think Monchi should just say, okay, I got your 4th base. I'm just going to back off now. He could do a bit of damage before the Infestors come out, but now that they are here on the field with that Pathogen Glands upgrade completed, all she needs to do is get 1 fungal on all of those sentries, and this attack is over. Force field's going up, but not going to do too much damage beyond this. He didn't really kill too many of Scarlett's drones, but he has a lot of power behind this push because of that 3rd base economy. All of those extra resources. The only thing that strikes me curious is we don't have too many warp gates. There's only 3 warp gates on the field for Monchi, so even with this all of this economy, there's not too much he can actually do with it. So he's going to back off, kind of realizing, okay, well, I can't really get as many units out as I'd like to. We should see him throw down a lot more gateways, though. He's going to bank minerals like crazy, and he is. He's just going to need to constantly warp things in. And there we go. A bunch more gateways coming in. Using the individual probes to get them, going to add on 4. And we have a Spire and Hive on the way for Scarlett, so she's getting ready to move into standard Broodlord and Fester Ball. And she built another 4th base on the left side of the map relatively quickly after losing the original 4th, so she will be able to get that 4 base economy in time for her Hive. But delaying the 4th base was pretty huge for Monchi because it's 3 base Protoss versus 3 base Zerg. Protoss has an inherent advantage because the units are designed to be more cost effective. So I can't know for sure what we're going to see out of this, but Scarlett's just kind of holding map control with the Roaches, kind of realizing, okay, I'm in a pretty strong position. Monchi, he's adding on these gateways, and I think that's going to bring him up to 7 total, so it's not a crazy high amount. He's going to add more to wall off this 3rd base. I like this, though. This wall it's a very interesting wall. This is not your typical, it just looks different. I don't know. This pleases me in an unusual way. But Scarlett's ready for this 4th base. I don't think she has vision of it being built. Oh, she does. That Zergling on the high ground. So she might just try to quickly deny this. but the forces for Monchi are stepping up to that fourth. She could go for a counterattack, some sort of weird run-by. +1 Roach range is only just about to finish that Roach attack upgrade, so not the heaviest fight in terms of upgrades. Only 1-1 now. Monchi is 2-0. He has the charge upgrade coming in, the Colossus range, and that +3 attack. So this is interesting. Scarlett also sells the Overseer in the main base. She's going to go for an engagement here. Storms are going to drop on the Roaches, though. Not going to be the best engagement ever, and she's going to be forced back here. Monchi, a pretty nice defending of his 4th base, and he's staying on even economy with Scarlett. Scarlett's going to get a 5th base now. But she's going to start to build a bunch of Spine Crawlers by the 4th. This is a smart decision, of course. She wants to be able to have a lot of units to put under her Broodlords if she needs to use them defensively. So I like this play a lot. The Greater Spire will be complete soon. She should start to get some Corruptors out, actually, to prepare to make Broodlords. Or maybe she wants to bank more into the Infestors first. We'll have to see. Adrenal Glands are on the way, though. That Zerg melee attack upgrade is so important for the Broodlings to be able to do the maximum amount of damage versus these Protoss units. You know, you can build in the Roach attacks, but the Broodlings, the end, are what come out of the Broodlords, and you need those if you want to actually kill things. The Colossi are very good at dealing with the Roaches, but we have another Spire started. 5 Broodlords are on the way, so we had some Corruptors prepared, and this is a nice number to have. I feel like the Stalker count, though, right now Monchi's army could punch straight through this, so Scarlett needs to play a bit conservatively. Stick near the Spine Crawlers, keep her eyes open for Harass, and one of the things that Scarlett's so well known for is her creep spread. We see in this game she has vision over such a large portion of the map. Let me just show you real quickly. She can see anything on the entire left side of the map, pretty much. More Corruptors coming out, Neural Parasite. And it looks like Monchi is picking this time to attack. This may be the best time for him to attack before the Broodlord count really gets out of control. There are only 5 of them right now. The 4th and 5th base may be forfeit to this push. This is actually really scary coming from Monchi. His +3 attack upgrade is right about to finish. He's about to have Blink. And 3 Colossi with this force is quite a bit. There are not that really many Corruptors at all. Broodlings are going to start to attack from the left side, and the Roaches are moving in from the front. Good fungal holding these units in position, but the Storm's dropping on the Roaches. The Stalkers blinking to the left side to get these Broodlords. The Stalkers are punching through. They're getting the Broodlord count diminished. All of the Roaches are dead. Really great engagement here from Monchi. He took a pretty sour fungal to start it off, but he did quite a bit of damage. 5 more Broodlords on the way for Scarlett. She needs to get just a few more of these out so that she can push this force away. There is so much here. She's only down to 3 Broodlords now. 5 more on the way. 8 Broodlords is enough, I think, to shove this off. But she needs to be very, very careful. There's a large number of reinforcements coming in for Monchi. And this game's only going to get scarier and scarier. She lost most of her Infestors. She lost all of her Roaches. And, well, now we have a bunch of Gateways and a Stargate being added for Monchi. This is scary. I have to say, I'm not so sure about how well Scarlett's going to be able to hold this. There is a ton of units here for Monchi. 4th base, not quite saturated yet. But Scarlett sees all these warp gates being added. This is scary. She's going to take a base in the very top left. She needs to keep that 5 base economy. She's actually really, really happy that she didn't lose this base. It's her last really fresh mining base. Plenty of resources left there. The 3rd base is still going a little bit strong, but it's going to run out soon. The natural, a little bit bare. And the main base, well, I guess she split her drones well enough that she does have a lot of leftovers. But, actually, I want to look at the drone count. This is kind of interesting. She has 77, so they are just really spread out. It's kind of nice. It actually prevents the main base from mining out because of how spread they are. But the Broodlord count is starting to build up a little bit. We have 8 of them, 2 more on the way. However, the Fleet Beacon is coming in, so there will be a mothership reasonably soon. And with the 4 base economy, Monchi, he's doing just fine. I feel like he should try to take that top left base. Or at least deny it for Scarlett. He doesn't know that she has it right now. He's clearing out the creep. Pretty smart decision. A really, really important utility for Zerg players. Monchi thinking he might just push in here and engage. There's a ton of Spine Crawlers. The Broodlings are throwing down. Storm dropping on these Broodlords. The Stalkers blinking forward into the Spines. More Storms falling. The Zerglings, however, are going to run in. The Stalkers can't get as close as they need to. A lot of the Stalkers will die. And Monchi takes a pretty cost-ineffective engagement there. He didn't kill too many of the Broodlords, actually. There's still 8 of them, so he only killed 2. And he lost a very large number of units, but he has all these gateways to back him up. He has all his economy. I feel like he needs to saturate this 4th, though. This only 9 probes is nowhere near optimal amount of saturation, so he's actually going to be hurting himself in the long run with his mining. But the mothership is on the way, and to be fair, this is just giving Scarlett some more time. She's getting up Additional Corruptors, additional Infestors. She's getting that +2 Zerg Flyer attacks. The +2 melee attack. You know, those Broodlings need to be able to do tons of damage, and that also brings to light there's only +1 armor on the field for Monchi. If he had +3, these Broodlings would be tickling him. But now he's going to move into the Spinecrawler wall again. Scarlett's wall of Spinecrawlers plays so well, doing so much extra DPS. The fungal growth's going down on this army. The Broodlords just get free reign. The Stalkers are going to blink forward again, but there are so many Spinecrawlers here. Very ill-advised. Monchi's going to pick off one Broodlord. Scarlett's lost quite a few of them, though, in this fight. But with the Stalker count reduced, these Corruptors will be able to kill the Colossi. More Stalkers are coming in, though. This is very, very scary. I just wonder how aggressive Monchi's willing to be. He's throwing away a lot of units, and he finally has a probe trying to go to the top left side. He's going to see Scarlett has that base. Scarlett's now going to take the bottom right base. And you know what? She's kind of stretching Monchi, what Monchi wants to do. And I really think that Monchi's just been taking some really poor engagements. He needs to just ball up his units, turtle, take a 5th base with his army, not push into the spine crawlers, get the mothership, and go for the vortex. Now, Scarlett does have Neural Parasite, but her infestor count keeps getting reset. She keeps using all of her energy. It's very difficult to land a Neural Parasite on a mothership to go for the counter vortex. Of course, it's an incredibly important thing to do, but Scarlett's one of those smarter players. She's known, you know, she'll split her Broodlords, won't get owned as hard by a vortex as some other players might. So it's going to take some good control out of Monchi to be able to win this fight, and he's going to go around the right side of the map, and that creep spread from Scarlett, it has all of these lanes covered, so she knows if Monchi wants to go to the east side. Actually, wonder, yep, yeah, okay. I was going to say just how far the creep vision was, if she could see him on the very edge there. But it's a big Zealot warping going to the bottom right, try to take out this expansion for Scarlett, and he's going to try to just go and harass the bases, and he might try to use this opportunity to push in again, but I feel like his really meaty, expensive, powerful army is taking a lot of hits. He's going to need a bunch of Archons here. He's pretty close to getting his Vortex up, and he's going to go for the 5th base on the right side. Scarlett could actually really easily attack this and shut it down with this Zerglings. But the Broodlord count has gotten pretty damn high. We have a very nice number of these bad boys, 14 in total in this control group here. And then a bunch of Infestors, so this is what Scarlett needs. The Zerglings deny the 5th base for Monchi, and we could have an engagement here. Needs to be very careful. That mothership does have the Vortex now, 2 energy away. It is ready. So one poor misstep. There's not too many spines here to back up Scarlett's army. She needs to kind of arc out the Broodlords a bit and maybe get a Neural Parasite on this mothership. It's coming forward. The mothership is approaching. We may see the Vortex go down. It's going to pull in about half the Broodlords. A really nice Vortex. Infested Terrans being thrown out in front of it. Storms being dropped on the other Broodlords. The Archons not able to get into that Vortex, though. One of them will be able to get in before it closes. A couple of the other ones, though, are left behind. Scarlett's Broodlords taking quite a beating. The Stalkers blinking up. It looks like Monchi may have nailed that Miracle Vortex to get this army killed from Scarlett. Now has a commanding 60 supply lead, killing the 4th base of Scarlett. And he's most likely going to push into the 3rd. And I don't think there's too much Scarlett can do about this. She lost all the Broodlords. She has a couple of Corruptors left, but she doesn't have the money that she needs to remax on anything that can bring her back into this game. Going to fall below 100 supply very shortly here. 3rd base is gone, completely forfeit. She's going to go for a counterattack into the 4th base of Monchi, but kind of realizing, you know, this isn't going to work. As much damage as she could do, there's a bunch of photon cannons here. Killing this army is going to be nay impossible. 4 Colossi will kill any number of Zerglings, any number of Broodlings, and, well, you can't get the Broodlord and Infestor count high enough again to stop the Stalkers from closing in, so the natural expansion is going to die. Scarlett is really spined up this base, though, and she's getting 6 more Broodlords. So she's just going to try to hold out with this force, but there's still mining bases for Monchi. He still has the economy. He actually... not having a 5th base is going to hurt him because he's technically mining off 1 base, which is the same as Scarlett, but all of Scarlett's tech is going to die. She's going to build another Spire, and we could see some really awkward, maybe mass Mutalisk transition where she just tries to dance around the map, or maybe force Monchi into taking another poor engagement. But Monchi is up 100 supply right now. Whatever Scarlett is hoping to do is going to be very difficult to pull off. I'm a little surprised she's staying in this. She must really think that there's going to be a way for her to turn this engagement. She has the bottom right base mining gas, but the Greater Spire is gone. So without a hive, she can only build Corruptors and Mutalisks. She's getting a spawning pool together. Possibly just going to go right for another lair, but this is a really scary position to be in. Another mothership is on the way. And it's a maxed out Protoss versus a 79 supply Zerg. This is really scary. We could see Monchi go for one last push and try to end this game. Pushing into the Spine Crawler wall, I wonder how this is going to work. I don't think there are enough Broodlords to push this back. Only 6. So Monchi's just going to take his sweet little time, clear up the creep tumors, head back home. Maybe he's going to try to get an expansion together. Zergling denies a base in the top left position. And man, yeah, 2 more Stargates being added on. I think Monchi should be able to just push in here. He just simply has way too much for Scarlett to handle at this point. The Colossi are attacking the Spine Crawlers from a distance. He's not even committing into this. The Infestors, there's only 2 of them. They both have a fungal growth, so it's going to be very difficult. I don't really think that Scarlett can kill this army. She's building up a bunch of Corruptors in the hopes that she can just shut down the Colossus so the Broodlings can do a lot of damage. But the Stalkers are just going to blink in. 1 Broodlord goes down. 2, 3 Broodlords are going to fall now. And I feel like this could be it. The Broodlords are getting some good hits. The Spine Crawler is doing a lot of damage, but the Infestataires are going to come out, and I just don't think there's enough. There's so much bank from Monchi. You can just build another ball of corrupt Stalkers and push it. There's the GG from Ace for Scarlett. This best of 5 is going to be brought to the match. We have a 2-2 score now.